Well, good morning to Will once again. Good morning to all those that are tuning in live on Facebook Live. I appreciate you all being attentive and hopefully you're getting much out of these weekly sessions that I'm delivering, which I have to admit, I do enjoy it. So today is the topic, the 16th of the lecture is called What Makes People Afraid of a New World Order. So again, plugging my book, I published this New World Order or Chaos. Okay, now I'm not going to go into, I've covered in other lectures before and I'll cover in other lectures coming, the new governance, new mathematics, the new religion, and the new science that's contained within this all-encompassing new world. But the title of the description is why are people afraid of it? I mean, it sounds nonsensical, right? But I asked a lot of people, whenever I say New World Order, I get normally two reactions. One is like horror, it's like, and then the apprehension is like, well, why are you horrified? Wow, this new world order, this is the changes. Well, what are you worried about? First of all, the word, look at the linguistic words in itself. By the way, good morning, Vernon.
Good morning, Dr. Yang.
So look at the words yourself. It's new. And that ultimately will tell you what are they afraid of? Are they afraid of the new? Are they afraid of the world? Or are they afraid of order? And regrettably, they're afraid of all three. I'll be bluntly honest with you. I've been studying humanity all my life, all 59 years of my life, ever since I was born, essentially. Okay? So they are afraid of the new. People fear the unknown. People are by nature very, very conservative. Okay, so here, as you know, in American politics, I dabble in the politics, you have the branch of the right side who are termed themselves conservative, and the left, which I am very, very much on the left inclination. We are very, very proud. So we don't call ourselves socialists, but I'm very, very proud socialist because I believe everyone should have should have access to great wealth and health. Okay, so, but here in America, they tend to use the word progressive, okay, which I'm happy with that terminology, okay? But people do fear those, especially those that are very successful. They feel that you are taking the success from them. You are destroying them. And even those that are not successful, they're quagmire in their own. Fear is a very, very dangerous symptom. It gets you into a heavy inertia state, not to move on. So people do fear the new. Yeah, they say, oh yeah, I love new things. They're talking about new clothes, new things. I'm talking about a new vision. There are very, very few people with a progressive, visionary future that's wet. And I'm glad to share the platform this morning with Vernon, who our collective are working with Yascon. He's a founder of Yascon, who has extremely visionary scope, a plan ahead for humanity, initially in this cryptocurrency. But like I said to you, so he is another visionary leader. And regrettably, there's not too many out there. So yes, people do fear the new. People are by nature are very conservative. I saw no doctors. We all have that inner fear, but any day we have to progress, especially in this dark time. I don't think I need to explain to people the traumas that we all gone through, and regrettably the failures that humanity, the fragility of our economy, and more concerning is the fragility of our democracy. Okay, so, and maybe, like I said, that's the silver lining in the cloud that is hung all over humanity right now for the past year and a half, is that it's shaken our bedrock belief that, you know, we're this strong global society. No, it's a strong global society built on squidgy quicksand. Okay, so a silly little pandemic. Now, I'm not downplaying. I know millions have died. That's the point of it. Okay, is that smallest micro has literally brought almost an entire empire to its knees. Okay, so we do need to proceed into a new way of doing things. And again, I'm not going to repeat what's already in the book. That'll take many, many gazillion hours. Okay, and do they fear the world? Yes. People, again, they regrettably, right now we live in a very nationalistic, in a very racist, and I emphasize that word, racist society. Okay, and those that follow my posting and know exactly just how vehemently anti-racism I am. And I'm proud today to announce that later on today at 6 o'clock, I will be a speaker or announcement at the Black History Month celebration. So I'm known the history, okay, of this discrimination, well, more than discrimination, the vile treatment of African Americans, how they're brought in here in chains, and what they've gone through. Okay, and I know Vernon is definitely aware of that because he's from that culture. But I also know, see this, I'm Chinese, all right? Have Chinese faced discrimination here in this great nation or United States that I proudly am? Absolutely. For 200 years. Do you know the only law in America that was formulated is 1886 was the law against the Chinese, the Exclusion Act. Only law that was based purely on race is against the Chinese. So yeah, I lived in England from the 60s. All right, I lived in a neighborhood of all white neighborhood. Did I face discrimination? Absolutely. Okay, but everyone knows me, knows that I don't lie down. I don't allow anyone to kick me. I don't allow anyone to slap me on the face. I am a fighter, and I will always fight against discrimination. I will always fight against bigotry, and that's what this world needs now, because this world is in a very nationalistic, in a very, very racist time, dark time as well. Okay, and we must join together collectively to combat that. To me, racism is the heart of all evil. I already discussed that in last week's lecture as well. So yes, so the people fear the world. Okay, they fear the world, but they fear it because, no offense, they're a bunch of racists. All right, and I say that to people. Race is not a white color, not a white disease. It is a human disease. Okay, all right, it is human disease, and that is the #1 disease that we need to cure. Okay, the #1 disease. All right, above COVID-19, above TB, above smallpox, above Ebola. Okay, those will kill a few thousand, maybe a few million. But ultimately, racism, it will perpetuate with the weapon of mass destruction, will ultimately kill billions and billions. Okay, that's how every single war is perpetuated. And we go into the Third World War, we will wipe ourselves up into extinction. Okay, so remember that. Okay, and obviously order. Wow. You said, well, why are people fearful of order? Well, there are some people, you would say select people, that want chaos, because those that know politics, know command, knows that that's how you control people. You control people through chaos, okay? Through certain propaganda aspects, call it brainwashing, whatever. But chaos actually breeds control for certain people, okay? So, and regrettably, you say, well, then don't the masses aware of this? No, they're not aware of this. They think they're aware of this, so that's why they seek out these conspiracy theories like QAnon, and they'll they'll believe any, pardon my English, any shit that's posted on the internet. Okay. Now, when I post that I have proof of God, by the way, I do write my equation and my formulation. Okay. So I don't say, oh, just believe it, faith. No, I say, here's the equation. So if you're smart enough, or if you're not smart enough, then take it to a mathematician friend or physicist friend and have him analyze it. Okay. That is what I post on the internet. Facts. All right. Facts. Okay. So when I say I prove God, I mean that. I prove God with the equation thing, which you can analyze yourself, and you can either prove me wrong, or we can have someone smart enough to prove me wrong. Okay. So regrettably, the mass majority just follows lies. It follows conspiracy. That's why we literally had our democracy collapse in an insurrection, because, pardon my word, there are a lot of nutcases out there, and you know who you are, okay, that follow such non-factual. Seriously, I'll just give you an example, okay? The person probably knows that. I'll say, you see on the posting, I had one supposedly intelligent being that says to me, you know, yeah, here's the facts that prove, and I said, what fact? That proved the election was stolen. Well, okay, well, show me. They know I'm saying, show, and they say, well, is this Italian who testified in Italian court that he sent a signal of the spy satellite and it came zooming down and changed the election machine here in America? Oh, really? And you have facts on that, other than this Italian in Italy who claims that? Well, you have to believe it. Why should I believe it? I'm a scientist. Where's the fact? But this is the dumbest thing. All right, really, really dumb. And the scary thing is, this is what they all say, millions of them. Well, the fact will come true, will come out eventually. Okay. That is the dumbest thing. So let me get this straight. You are willing to cause an insurrection. You are willing to kill people. Remember, the insurrection killed 5 people, okay? You are willing to bring down our democracy, not based on facts, but based on, well, there's a thing, but the facts will come out later. No, God gave you a brain, okay? God gave you a brain. For God's sake, try to use that brain, okay? So if you have facts of a stolen election, then show it. Seriously, all right? Show it, prove it, all right? Okay, so that is what people fears about, okay? They fear the new because they're conservative, they fear the world because they're racist, and they fear order because they follow the few who has the controlling power, and the few who are controlling power controlled by chaos. That's the reality of it, okay? So next time I say to you, there's a new world order, think about it. Ask yourself, what are you really afraid of? Okay? And when you really think about it, you're, pardon my English again, you're bloody irrational, okay? Because if you really think about it, this is exactly what we need. We need a new, because the old is bad. We need a world as one race, okay? Working together for a common purpose. And that common purpose is explore the stars and the inner spirit, okay? And we need order, okay? Only with order can we ultimately build something that will last forever, okay? Because chaos, by its pure definition, is anarchy, it's destruction. But for some people, for some few select people, that is exactly what they breed on. Remember that, okay? All right, so that's all I wanted to say, why I feel that people are afraid of the New World Order, but they should not be afraid of it, because that is the path to salvation, okay? And even if it's not the path to salvation, look at what the word stands for. Digest the literal meaning of it, okay? So anyway, before I sign up, I want to, Vernon, is there anything you want to specifically say on the subject matter yourself?
Yeah, the fact is that a lot of people are unhappy with the world as it is, but they're even more afraid of the world as it could be because the history has shown that um, many times when things change, they don't always change for the better. So I think there's a lot of fear there because of that. I think, however, that we have an opportunity right now in this moment in history to use the tools that we have to make the world better. I don't think there's ever been a better time to do that. So there's going to be this struggle between people's traditional fears and the fact that we have better tools to make the world better today. It's going to last for a long time. I feel good about this generation that's coming up, the ones right behind us. I feel that they're taking the optimism, some of the optimism that we saw in the 70s, and really beginning to run with it. And I like the fact that some of the younger people are forcing change in the form of environmental activism and political activism. I think probably most interesting is the fact that they've forced some of these corporations like GM and other big corporations who were steadfastly holding out against any kind of environmental recognition to suddenly change their tune. I mean, I think it's amazing that GM is committed to an electric car and that they're talking about carbon neutrality in 10, 15, 20 years. So, I think in spite of the traditional fears that there's a very strong movement to overcome those fears and really look at what we're doing to the planet and, make efforts to begin changing right now. A lot of young kids are afraid that they're never going to have kids themselves because there won't be a planet here because of global warming, fear of a nuclear war. So they're really taking a stand to change the things that are leading us toward that.
And you,
I just want to say one thing. It's something that amazes me. I live in New Jersey and New York, and to see people riding bicycles in New York, and then I ask them, "Why are you riding a bike?" And the person will say to me, "Well, I'm doing it for the environment." That to me indicates a real change in mentality, and that's good. I feel optimistic about that.
I'm glad, Burnham, you were at today's talk because you absolutely corrected me on that. Well, it's not that I was saying wrong, but I didn't want to give this tone that I was just being very negative, that there's no hope, no desire. I'm by nature a very optimistic person, and you're absolutely right. You ended it on the right note. The next generation are the generation of hope and of strength. And obviously a classic example is Andrea Wen, who's extremely young, but she's the creator of OHA, the One Humanity, One World, which is basically took the seeds of this and say, you know what, I want to change it. I want to be an environmentalist. I want to get off this fear factor. I want to push ahead to this new and brighter world. And, and that world, Burnham, is not for you and I, I'm afraid. We're the older generation, but at least we're smart and we have a great vision. That's why I love about you. You have a great vision. You're a great leader. You're one of the few who are fearless. And together, your organization, JazzCoin, and our collective, are working towards a very bright future, which will be controlled by the next generation of very currently young, smart, courageous people like Andrea that I mentioned. So I thank you for quote correcting me on putting a positive message on it, because that's what all this is about really, is that we have problems, but in this channel, more importantly, we have solutions, folks. Okay, and I'm so grateful for Vernon for bringing that up. So God bless you all. Thank you, Vernon. I'll be in touch with you, as you know, and talk about this bright future that will work with the young generation to make it happen, to put these solutions.
All right.
into
Very good.
All right. Until next time, God bless. Thank you again.